back, everybody. This is Tuesday Museday. I'm Kalani, as you know. Appreciate you guys showing up. Let's say hello. Bill's here nice and early, as usual. Cornelius, welcome back. Mick is here. Roseanne, nice to see you. I feel like I should have one of those Miss Marianne. Do you guys remember Romper Room and Miss Marianne and the Magic Mirror? She had this mirror that she would hold up and the inside would like swirl, and then she would look through it and she would say like all the names of the kids that were, supposedly watching the show. She's like, I see Brian and Jeffrey and Suzanne. And like at home, these kids are losing their minds because they think that she can really see them. So that's what I'm doing, except I'm not. I'm reading your names. Urban Dervish, welcome. Neil, all right, welcome back. And Sienna's here, all right, awesome. And Rosalind, is that? Sorry if I got it wrong. I don't know. Yeah, so welcome back, everybody. We're going to make some music. Today's theme is Musiking. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, let's keep jamming. Back to the pan. We're going to jam on the hand pan for a second. All right. Yes, that was a journey. Woo. Kind of got out of breath there with the. Who can tell me what that last thing was that I played? I've played it before. It's not the Guess the Sound. That's coming up. So, extra points? 10 points? What did I just play? What was the last thing on the recording? All right, I'll tell you what I'll tell you what the first thing was, because we will talk about all the instruments. Well, actually, I think the first thing was the last thing, but one of the first things was the seed pods, this rattle, which I got recently at Motherland Music. Shout out to Motherland Music in Los Angeles, down by LAX. This is a ankle bracelet, ankle pod bracelet. Well, anklet, I guess. And I really love this thing. It just sounds great. I really like it. I don't know what it is, but these are like some sweet pods. So I did those, and then I used the thing that nobody is naming. Do I need to show you? You can guess. All right, and then we had the hand pan, which of course is here. This is the Metal Sounds hand pan, D minor. We had some congas, which are over here. Let's go to the big wide view. Have the congas over here on my right. And then bongos, of course. Not a tall bongo on legs, but bongos nevertheless. Some of you will get that reference, but most of you won't, and it's okay. We also had some cajon in there. Kopf cajones, which I am sitting on. Shout out to Kopf cajones, really amazing products. And then what else? We had a couple Native American style flutes, and Roseanne got the name of the thing. It is wind whistle, Acme wind whistle. This little guy right here, little tiny. This happens to be chrome. Pretty small, yeah, but it's just a little tiny whistle. So yeah, congratulations, Roseanne. You get some extra points. Hey, Richard. Richard just showed up. So I was just talking, and coincidentally, Richard is a flute player and composer, and has albums and songs out. I played two flutes in that piece, both by Wood Sounds flutes, D minor, which I often play because the hand pan's in D minor. So I chose the high D minor flute, and then I'm sorry, I misspoke. The other flute, which is here, is a Pat Heron D minor, not a Wood Sounds. So Brent, if you want me to play a bass Wood Sounds D minor, you know my address. I'm just saying. This is a Pat Heron D minor that I got some years ago. So they play well together. And speaking of playing well together, I want to shout out WePlayWellTogether.com. They provide me with some of the instruments that you guys are hearing. The hand pan. They also have these kalimbas, which this one's also in D minor, but I didn't play it yet. But so I played it. I'm playing it on the hand pan right now to make it louder. And then we had, what else did we have? Is that about it? I think that's about it. Anything I'm leaving out? Yeah, Pat does make good flutes. And I think that's it, right? We had flutes, cajon, hand pan, seed pods, bongos, congas. Oh, and ukulele. So I played a little bit of the ukulele, just D minor. So I set up a 2-chord thing on the hand pan, and then D minor to A minor. It's just super simple. Minor 1 chord, minor 5 chord. And I alternated back and forth. Thanks, Roseanne, for posting the link to We Play Well Together. They're really nice. Gabrielle over there is a fantastic person, and she brings in a lot of quality instruments. So they have the wood stuff made by Feel Tone, which that's an amazing company. They make all kinds of things for sound healing, and they make the monolini and the monochords and the tongue drums, which we call the tinkatongs, or they call the tinkatongs. And then she also works with Hokama kalimbas. They make the sansula and all kinds of different kalimbas. So if you're in the market for a thumb piano or kalimba, go over to weplaywelltogether.com. Check out everything they have. They also sell the, where is it, the Koshi chimes. Lots of cool stuff over there. And if you're into Musiking, which is today's subject, and you want to make it easy, and you like instruments that sound good, and you like instruments that go together well, then that's what they're for. That's what We Play Well Together is all about. So go over there and check them out. Say hello, find some stuff, and make some music. All right? That's your instructions. Simple. All right. So we're going to transition a little bit into what is Musiking, and is that actually a thing? It is. I posted on the Patreon page a little bit about Musiking, but it is a term. It's been around for a few decades, and it's basically just anything to do with the act of music making. Anything to do with it. So it could be from just from whenever you start engaging in music making. So literally, like setting up to play music is also musicking. Playing music, obviously, but dancing to music, listening to music, recording music, anything to do with music. But the way I specifically like to use it, I like to use it in the sense of improvising music and creating music. So that is another aspect of the term musicking. So to me, musicking, yeah, of course we're playing music. I think we're going to take that as a given that it has to do with music making. But it is active, right? It's not just theoretical. So it's the action of making and playing music. But I want to say that the act of making music is also, pretty much. I don't want to say something that is wrong, but I would say that that whenever we make music, we're improvising to a degree, not 100%. Obviously, if we're playing a piece of music that we've learned and memorized and we're performing it, that's not improvisation per se. But when we play music, we're in the moment, we're listening, we're making choices, we're aware of what's happening, hopefully. We're engaged in the moment. And so in as much as we're in the moment doing something, we're improvising. Just like when you have a conversation with somebody, hopefully, you're improvising, right? You are not reciting a prior conversation, right? Unless you're in a Monty Python skit, which maybe you are. But most of the time, we improvise. So that's my point, is that, even if you're talking about something that you agreed earlier to discuss, your whole conversation is an improvisation. And that's what I mean by musicking as an improv, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But certainly, when we don't plan anything except, picking out some instruments like I did, and I often do at the start of these, or even on the Gimme 5, that's pure improv. To me, that's like what musicking is about, because musicking is what musicians do, right? That's what you do as an artist and as a musician. And what is it you're doing exactly? Number one, you're listening. Like, that's the first thing. You're listening. You're listening to the sounds of the instruments. You're listening to the silence and deciding how much of that silence you want to take up. You're listening to the textures, how things fit together. And that's just like me playing by myself with a looper, right? And I'm layering in sounds. I'm balancing levels. I'm creating harmonies and melodies. I'm creating tension and release. So I'm doing a lot of things that have to do with music making and really just like finger painting, right? I've got all the colors there, and it's just a lot going on. But then when we add other people into the mix, then it just multiplies and gets deeper and richer and more, I think, more rewarding, because we have a whole layer of now relationship building between people, which I think is amazing. And it's the best thing about, in my opinion, one of the best things about music making and community music making. So that's what musicking is. I recommend it. So music at home, but also musicking out with other people. It's a really great thing to do. So Richard has a question. What is a cadenza? A cadenza is you mean as far as improv? So a cadenza is a section usually at the end of a piece of music, and it's to feature a player or soloist. Usually it would be like there's a short a piece written, symphonic piece, let's say. Could be jazz too. But everyone else stops usually. Everyone in the group stops, and the soloist or the artist or the featured artist will take over and sort of play, something that's, it can be written out, but I think traditionally cadenza might have been improvised to a degree. And they sort of play something extemporaneously, and then the piece ends, right? So it could happen, like I said, there's lots of recordings of jazz standards where everybody might stop, and maybe there's a saxophonist or somebody, and they play, or a conga player, and they do it, basically they do a solo, and then right before the ending of the piece. But that happens in classical music, all sorts of music. So that's hopefully that answers the question. And I think it can be either, now in classical music, sometimes the cadenzas are purely written out and the player, learns it and performs it. But a lot of the time, and I think in the spirit of a lot of the Baroque music and Renaissance music, a lot of that was improvised. So let's not forget that. Improvisation, you guys. All right. Welcome, Grande Willie. All right. You said, wow, what an evolution. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Santa said, I prefer improvisation over learning a song that is already made. I kind of do too, but also, and I have to be honest with you guys, I prefer that only because I'm better at it. I'm not great at memorizing like music and songs and melodies. So for me, it's a lot of work. I can do it, but it takes me a lot of work. Whereas for some people, it doesn't take them that much work. They remember the chords and the melodies and the lyrics and all that stuff. I find that whenever I make music, I'm kind of, to a degree, finding my way again, So I prefer to develop musicality skills, whereas, like music skills, like so you can play the music, but also listening skills and just trying to be aware of what's happening so you can interact with things dynamically and artistically and in the way that you want. So that's where I get the satisfaction. Some people learn, pieces and perform them, and that's cool. That's another way to do music. But like you could learn an amazing speech and give it, and that would also be an amazing speech, hopefully. But yeah. Oh, okay, Rich. Yeah, I figured you knew what a cadenza was, but yeah, classical improvisation, exactly. So I'm glad I answered that in a way that aligns with your answer. All right, you guys, let's move on and do another featured part of the broadcast. All right. And I checked the settings this week, and we should be good at not skipping to the end and ending suddenly. Guess the sound! Okay, you guys. This week's Guess the Sound, it might be kind of loud, so I'm going to turn this, I'm going to switch mics for a second. Here we go. Not that loud. Okay, here we go. So for those of you who, am I loud enough? Let me turn that up a little. All right, so that is a kind of a short sound, right? Let's see. It is not a wira, although good guess. Good guess. I have the wira right over there. So let me I'm gonna put this thing down. I'll show you the wira, and we can compare the sound. Although I think my wira scraper is not right here with me, so I'm gonna just use a wrench. But here's the wira. Here's the wira. right? And here's the sound for this week's Guess the Sound. And Urban Dervish is pretty close, but do you know the name of it? What is the name? I'm still gonna give it to you because I mean, you're right. It is metal slats. But do you guys know the name of it? I have one type of metal slat instrument made by the same person. I have 3 of them, different sizes, but they're all made by the same guy, and he named them. So I would go with his name for it. But what do you think? No idea. Okay. Well, we're gonna learn the name. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys. Let's take a look. But Urban Dervish gets the points for today, you guys. All right, so it is this, right? Is that what you were thinking of? So it is metal slats. Let's go to the overhead. It's on this kind of, brace, and then there's some bolts and nuts, and he's got there's 4 slats, and they're sort of offset, right? So that they're loose, and they're just piled on there. They got plenty of room to move. Right, and then we usually just hit them with a stick. So this is one of the instruments that I got. I've had these for years, and there's a guy named Pete Engelhardt. Pete Engelhardt percussion, and Pete is an artist. He's in Berkeley, I believe. I think he's still there, Bay Area, East Bay, and he makes all this metal stuff by hand. He's the only guy working. And he might have somebody like an assistant, but he basically makes every piece that he sells. And he makes some amazing stuff, not just these. But he calls these a crasher. And you can put it on a cymbal stand or a percussion mount, like a post. And I used to have these a lot when I was on the road. I usually have one crasher. It's kind of like a choke cymbal sound, or like a hi-hat, kind of. Like you can use it. You can use it like a hi-hat kind of thing. But yeah, different sound. And I have 3 of these different sizes. I have one that's bigger. This one is, I think, the smallest. Yeah, because I can see the other ones down there. This is the smallest one, and then the other ones get larger and deeper sound. So congratulations, Urban Dervish. Somebody besides Roseanne got the guess the sound. I think Roseanne, I think you get like half of them. Yeah, check out Pete's website. I hope he's still cranking out stuff, you guys. And if you want anything, you get it now. Get on the list or search eBay or something. His stuff doesn't come up that much. The crashers might come up used, but a lot of his stuff, people are hanging on to it because he's not making much these days. And actually, he's got some people that are like patrons, and they're just like taking everything he's making, basically, which is cool for him. It's not cool for the rest of us so much, but I don't blame him. Like, if you got somebody willing to pay you a lot to just get everything you're making, well, I guess that's good, right? But I think he's still making stuff. He might not be. It's getting close. So if you want some Pete Engelhardt stuff, either order it now and hope that he has time to make it for you, because I think he's on a wait. He's got a little bit of a wait list. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before about when I spoke about like Frank Giorgini, and I really feel bad about that when I said I don't think he's making Udu drums anymore, and he was still making Udu drums. And but I didn't know because I hadn't talked to him in like 15 years. So note out there, if you're making instruments, keep in touch with Kalani, because if we don't see you around and we don't see your website updated in 10 years, we might assume that you're not making instruments. All right, and Urban Dervish, wow, let's point share. That's very generous. All right, good for you guys. Yeah, check out Pete Engelhardt. Pete Engelhardt, metalpercussion.com. Yeah, and also my friend Pam Gore used to help Pete sell his stuff, so she may still have like a line on his stuff. Pam Gore, and I forgot if I don't even know if she's still doing that, but she used to be like a connection to Pete to help get orders through and communicate with him. Anyway, check it out. But that's what it was today. Pete Engelhardt Crasher. Congratulations. So that is that's on the list of things that we could use for Gimme 5, which we need to start thinking about, because it is getting to that time. By the way, does anybody want to take a shot at the meter of the opening jam? What was the meter of the opening jam? You know what I'll do right now is I'll play you some of this stuff so you can hear it. So check it out. All right. What is the meter? Because it's kind of unusual. It's not common. All right. Oh, and also I wanted to mention that at the top, what I did, and I'll show you right now, is I put a big delay. I had a lot of reverb, just in case you guys want to, record or play or use effects, because the effects in this case were part of, the instrumentation. That's part of the Musiking, right? Is the effects. So I had actually two reverbs. I had this reverb, which is a short reverb. I had this reverb, which is a much longer reverb. You got that? That's like very cavernous. I think that's a 3 or 4 second reverb. And then I had delay, 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 delay. That is a lot of delay. I didn't realize it was that much, but that's a lot, right? So yeah, Roseanne is correct, actually. 9/8, you guys, for the meter. So let me play a little with the delay so you can hear that. So I have the delay. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You guys got it? But then the delay is a dotted quarter note. It's like so when I played the instruments, I could build chords because of the delay. So if I'm playing the flute, I'll put the reverb on and the delay. So that delay is just keeping the chords going. So if you play, you choose your notes carefully, you can have a chord and then another chord, even on the flute. And that certainly worked with also as an effect to keep all of this stuff going. Right? So you can use, that's kind of an extreme delay, right? It's very long, and I increase the amount of repetitions, and then you put a lot of reverb on it, and you can just kind of get almost like a pad. We call that a pad when there's a sound that's just underlying, everything, and it's very long and drawn out. So that was part of what I was doing. in today's live looping. All right, and Roseanne is getting the whip out. Do you guys know Roseanne literally does whip cracking? Is that what you call it? But she does. As you can see on her YouTube channel or whatever, wherever you're posting. I've seen some of your videos and you're cracking the whips. And I would be standing back away in a safe zone from that. But I respect that. I know some of the people are just insanely talented with that. But I don't ever have an occasion to have a cigarette whipped out of my mouth. So if I do, I'll call you. Whip cracking. All right. All right, you guys. So, okay. Anyone else for a Gimme 5? Yeah, we do need to get on it. We have time, but any other questions? Anything that you guys want to... I'm going to forward my little frame here to Gimme 5. Anything else? Any other questions? By the way, you guys, I posted a video a couple days ago where I was inspired by a Tito Puente tune, and I've been wanting to do something on the vibes, on the vibraphone, because I have this fantasy of being a jazz vibraphonist. But I haven't managed to put in all the work to get there yet. But I did manage to crank out like one piece of music, which I had fun with. I went around my house and I recorded me, playing instruments in different rooms and different settings around the house. And then I put it all together. And I recorded all the parts on my iPhone. I just shot on my iPhone. So the audio is not great, but that's okay. I wanted it to sound kind of, lo-fi and just have fun. So what I did is I made a track, a guide track in Band in a Box. And then I played that through my Bluetooth earbuds. And I just played along each instrument. And then I put it all together. And that's what that is. But you can look on the channel. It's got a black and white thumbnail. And it turned out okay. I played vibes and Native American style flute. And, it's all right. It's a first step. It got my feet wet with playing the vibes. And I think in the future I'm going to do more of that. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Tito Puente played vibes actually quite a bit. And he was a good vibe player. He's a classically trained musician. I think he went to Eastman or somewhere like that, Manhattan School of Music or something. But he was a serious cat. And so, yeah, I aspire to be a serious cat someday. All right. Hurricane Bob. Oh, nice. I got an R. Carlos Nakai cassette when I was younger. I always liked the music. Yeah, great. Yeah, Carlos Nakai, pioneer, Native American. He's sort of like the Babatunde Olatunji of the flute, the native flute. And he brought the sound to the general public and made a lot of recordings. In fact, Will Clipman is another brother who's a percussionist and a friend and a talented poet, musician. He plays with Carlos Nakai in his group and other groups. But check out Will Clipman. I don't know his website, but you can look him up. Will Clipman. Clipman, I believe. All right. Urban Dervish for the Gimme 5. Crasher, handpan or hung drum. Seed pots, kalimba, bongo. Repeating so Kay can find it. Bongo. What does that mean? And Sienna says she's letting others have a turn. Well, that's nice. Everybody is so polite and nice to each other today. I can't believe it. First there was point sharing. Now it's Gimme 5 space making. What's next? I'm proud of you guys. All right. That's awesome. All right. Bongo. Let me go over it in my head. So we've got Crasher. Hung drum, and then we got the seed pods. We've got the kalimba, which I got to figure out how to mic that properly, and then we're gonna have bongos. All right. So I think I want to change the meter, if you don't mind. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna erase what I have in the looper. Oh, repeating the comment. Oh, okay, right. Thank you, Roseanne. Let's do another groove. We'll do something else. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to... All right, I think I have something. That'll be fun. Let me see. All right, just a second. Takes me a second to get set up. I'm also going to set up the delay, so give me a second. All right, I think we're good. We'll see what happens. Thanks for waiting, you guys. All right. Let me think. All right, well, I think we're ready. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. All right. Gimme 5 is on. 8 minutes to go. Let's go. everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you guys. I hope Cornelius is happy with the meter choice. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks to Roseanne for showing up. Everybody for your input. I appreciate it. And yeah, go check out some of the people that help make this show possible, including you guys, my patrons, and courses to your patrons especially. I really appreciate that. Ongoing support. It encourages me to keep producing material and trying new things. Meter is approved. All right, thank you. All right, you guys, have a great week. Yeah, just go out and make some music, you know. Cheer yourself up a little bit. Do some musicking. And if you buy stuff, play it, all right? That's the only thing. Don't buy things and then not use them. I know, take it from me. All right, we're gonna go out on a little more playing. Thanks for showing up. We'll see you guys next time.
World Drum Club,